we cannot continue this conversation.
So this is actually something interesting that you're tapping into, and not to hijack the conversation already, Connor. But so I recently tried out Claude because I'm a Gemini user, and I went back to Gemini. I just does the job for me, and I like the outputs more that I'm getting from Fable. So that's kind of, I found it very interesting, right? That even if the model is quote unquote apparently better, I actually like what I like what I have with Gemini. I
I,
don't, that's just what I use.
I think I assume like the way that you use it is a bit different from all the people who are very
Mm.
vocal about it, because to me really the way that you see the difference is for autonomous coding tasks, where
Yeah.
the I think there's this I keep forgetting what the name of it is, but basically the time that a model can autonomously work on a task is basically doubling every. It's basically like Moore's law adapted to AI progress. And Connor, you know the name of it, probably you did, right?
Yeah, I got to answer. This is one of your two questions I got to answer in the company trip when you did the two.
um, but yeah, I think in coding AI specifically, what I want is, and this is I think something where the revolution or the evolution of coding AI has allowed me to be a lot more hands on again, because my day is full with meetings, and there's like a 15-minute slot in between two meetings or a 30-minute slot in between, which before AI was not enough to like really code. Like the context switching was just too much. But now it's about firing off a prompt. And then what I want is when I fire off this prompt and come back after 3 or 4 back-to-back meetings, I don't want to see this prompt having been, or this AI model having stalled after 5 minutes. And then I go, well, yeah, well, now I lost 3 hours in which it could have been productive. And that I think is where, to me, Claude or the latest Claude models, or also I haven't tried out the latest GPT 5.6 Soul. I have tried Kimi K3. Um, those models to me really have the edge on how long they can keep an autonomous loop going
Mm.
and work in your favor, basically. And I assume your tasks are probably a bit more synchronous, I would guess, for what you would use it for.
I see. Yeah. So something else that just popped into my mind because of what you just said, HN, of the different use cases. Something that I'm also excited about, which is very much related to AI, but not in the model. That's actually what you see. That's often referred to as like taste coming
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
And what I mean with that is that so for example, I use AI to help me with important emails and those kind of things like spelling and grammar and that kind of stuff. But I would never let the AI actually write the email. And sometimes, for example, now when we, when in just for work reasons, right? I get emails that I can see that it's just a prompt and that
yeah,
it's not human written,
yeah,
and I just really dislike that. Same with websites. So if I now go to a website and I see it's a fully AI generated website, that kind of backfires. They're like, nah. So for example, in at Weaviate, we have for also for many years already, we have like Svetlana on the team, right? And what is really great to see is that if people now generate, for example, a deck with AI, but then she does like the human touch magic over it, which pushes it to the quality to like a completely different level. So then you have the best of both worlds, right? But if it's pure AI generated, it's kind of tasteless.
yeah.
And so it doesn't matter if it's decks, if it's emails, if it's websites, if it's music, right? So and I don't know how it is with software, to be honest, but
It's it's
the
exactly
uh,
it's exactly the
yeah.
same. I think we'll never get to the second question, but I think that's completely fine, because if we're talking about the AI slopification, I think
Yeah.
that's definitely one to address, because it's just something that, sort of looking back at the 7 years ago when we started this, it just was not, it just didn't exist. But yeah, from a coding perspective, I think you see it Oh, hey, Bob's cat.
Yeah.
From a coding perspective, the first time that I really had this oh wow, this is slop, was I think when Claude started doing this indigo purple kind of website design that you would see everywhere, and then it would have these like boxes with this one vertical line of color for each box. And the first time you see this, you would say like, oh, this is a pretty nice design. But then you would see it again the next day and again
Yeah.
in a completely different context. And that happened to be the time when I think we were hiring for a solution engineering role. And part of the challenge, part of the take home challenge, which is, by the way, also something that I think needs to change with AI, because take home challenges are basically just one prompt now. But part of that challenge was essentially to create a presentation that a Weaviate sales engineer could give to a customer. And three candidates within 1 week gave almost the exact same presentation with the same color scheme,
Yeah.
with the same colored lines on this thing, and with
Mhm.
the same content too. With like, I think there was one task was a customer said this particular query is too slow. How would you optimize it? They had the same bulleted list in the same order. So I do think the slopification is real. Another angle from it on a code perspective is just the jargon. I think this is something that came up with Claude in particularly. My favorite term, or my two favorite terms, are the smoking gun when it does a root cause analysis. Like at some point it just goes big find m dash, the smoking gun was here all the time. And the other one is the load bearing invariant, which I think is like no human would have ever used that term, where it just goes like, oh, you're right, this is load bearing. um, so this is we have in our internal Weaviate code. We have this basically Claude Code plugin that's not specific to Claude Code. It works with any coding agent, where we have a few skills, and one of the skills is just the common slop pass, where it essentially just looks at a pull request and just goes through, because it happens to be in Commons, because that's where the
Mm.
AI can do creative writing. And it's every single pass. I think there's not even the models that are so good at adhering to instructions, they're not at the point yet where you can just tell them up front, don't create sloppy comments. The only way to address it is to do a pass at the end, ironically with the same model, or a cheaper model if you want, and just remove that. And every single time it will find something. And that is it's just another one of those, like, we're burning tokens to solve a problem that was introduced from us burning tokens. So to your energy point.
Yeah, and this is so interesting because the I have this strong belief. I didn't come up with this myself, but that if you the impact of a new technology, that you can see it often in the music industry first, because it's such a fragile industry, and then it trickles down to everything. So um, uh, um, uh, yeah, literally to every other industry, right? So, and what I found super interesting, I was following all this stuff online about, and I forgot the name, but there's like this tool, that AI tool that generates music for you. And there was this interview with the CEO of the company, and he said, um, people don't like to make music because, you need to spend a lot of time on learning how to play an instrument and those kind of things, which is not fun. So now we do like the gamification of it, so it's just easy. And there was like a big, pushback from the music community. It's like, no, the whole point that we spent years on mastering this stuff is we like that, right? And that's the same thing, I think, with writing software. It's like, you master writing software, and then it's nice that, I don't know, the AI helps you with debugging or with figuring out an issue or that kind of stuff. But it's like your profession of writing software and knowing how to do that, or with these musicians how to play an instrument, or and so on and so forth. uh, um, uh, that's the fun of it, right? So that is why we do this. That's the same thing. These articles that you read, that it goes like, oh, AI is going to take over, like, for example, CEO roles, right? I was like, maybe, but it's like, if I really look at the important stuff that I do, that's like in one or two emails, maybe a day or something. And then it's really decision you make, right? So which is like almost like a creative process. And then yes, you can prompt a model, and then the model will say yeah, A or B, but doesn't have all that context and background. So I think the point that I'm trying to make is that um, we of course were very early on started to work in this. This is something that's here to stay. That's awesome. But it's interesting to see in myself and also what you shared, HN, and I'm not sure if you have too, Connor, but to see the that things also the pendulum needs to swing a little bit back to the center again, right? Because there's just also a profession in writing software, designing websites, crafting a good text, right? That kind of stuff. If you need to share something important, so it's fascinating that that's where we are right now in the world of AI.
Yeah, there's this interesting thing of like productivity is through the roof, but no one is less busy. Everyone is
Yes.
more busy. Like everyone, like you're not doing one thing now where you're doing 10 things. And I think like you're almost some people are at the point of like burning out just managing it all. But it's there's constantly this like fear of, oh, are we all going to be out of jobs? I have yet to meet a single person who's doing less. Everyone is doing more.
Yeah, very practical, right? So this is my first day. I'm back from I had like a 10-day holiday, and I'm a zero inbox guy. I like an empty inbox. I'm just sifting to more than 1,300 emails that I got. So in just being offline for 10 days, and a lot of that stuff is AI generated, right? So it's like it's just more work to get through them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember, Bob, when you sent me somebody asking about joining the podcast. I'm getting these AI podcast invitations, like it's crazy amount now.
Yep. Yeah, it's insane. Oh well, it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is the human touch. I think that as you said, like even if it's not the craft itself, it's the human touch at the end that makes it worthwhile. And that I think it's such an easy way to stand out right now. Like if you hand write, I'm not even sure if that's a word, but it is now in the age of AI. If you hand write a LinkedIn post, you're probably one of very few people. Like every LinkedIn post looks the same these days.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
it's
easy
so
to stand out simply by doing something yourself.
yeah, and that's something actually in the something we've built at Weaviate, and I think a lot of kudos go there also to Philip and the team too. That we always try to have like a human face around it, like in the videos and that kind of stuff. That yes, it's about AI. Yes, we're making software, but it's always a human in the front, like that you go like who helps. And also there, a lot of AI is being used to just do more and do it better, but it's very human centric, and I'm a big believer in that. So yeah.
I think that's also something that our customers, to sort of put this back into the Weaviate context, I think that's also something that our customers really appreciate. Like, obviously, they know we're using AI. They want us to use AI because they want us to be productive. But I think it's very easy as a Weaviate customer to speak to a human, and I think that's another human touch angle.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So yeah, maybe we could start diving into some of our submitted questions. And
Wait, the first one was not a submitted one. That was so we're now officially making it to the first question. Let's see how long we can keep this one going.
Awesome. So yeah, talking about Weaviate.